Hello, I'm going to be talking about fandom, specifically the My Little Pony fandom, and their role in the library, and what can be done to help meet their informational needs. The My Little Pony fandom identifies as Bronies, and there are Bronies who dislike the source content and only prefer fan-made content. There aren't really any rules to being considered a Brony other than self-identification. Um, Fandoms are just groups of people who are interested in the same topic. However, dismissing them just as hobbies is not right either, since they can be as important to someone's identity as religion. And although it is not a group, though, that is immediately identifiable, there is a community and culture that is completely formed in fandoms. A larger study I am working on is that the farther one is immersed in fandom communities, specifically the My Little Pony community, the group becomes more ideologically similar and reflects the values and ideals taught in the show. That is also talked about in Dorfman, who wrote a fantastic piece about ideology in Donald Duck and how it encouraged capitalism. There are plenty of other scholars who are interested in the power of subcultures and fandoms. However, there seems to be a distinct lack of library and information science input, which seems strange considering that in order to be part of a subculture or a fandom, there is certain information that people have to receive. So, what information do Bronies seek? Besides the source content, such as watching episodes or listening to the music, reading the comics, they need help finding the fan-created work. That could be from taglines to teaching search techniques, and there are plenty of opportunities to expand this to not just the Brony fandom, but to any fandom, be that Doctor Who, Star Trek, sports even. The possibilities really here are limitless. It's more of just how your community would respond to this, and if there are people in your community who could benefit from this. The figure here shows that the Brony weekly activities. However, there is a distinct difference about consuming Brony content versus creating. And I think that is a huge place where librarians, information professionals, and the library as a community center could change that perhaps by providing programming on how to write fictional work, how to develop characters, providing these sorts of programs and opportunities could help not only encourage people to create and help them get over the digital divide that is strongly emphasized in LIS work, as well as sociology and various other groups. But I believe that by having a controlled study in a library where they did do an animation how-to, and I believe that you would see specific fandoms artwork increase from that library, and not just from that one program, because if you look back at the Bronies weekly activities, there is no I don't do this on a weekly basis option. Once again, it is on a scale, but I think that's very telling to see how important this is and how it could really benefit the entire community as a whole, if more work was being created. Now, this is not a new concept of wanting to be completely identified by a physical trait or typical group status traits, but would rather focus on the different facets to their own personality. This discussion was being had regarding healthcare communication in a book written in 1947, or more recently in 2010, by Richard Hicks, who provided an introduction to a book regarding personality and individual differences. by focusing on one facet of their identity, it doesn't diminish the other aspects. It just allows them to have a small distraction and or be able to enjoy themselves. Anyway, in conclusion, there needs to be much more research done in LIS about fandoms in particular and how they can shape a library into being that community center that is the way libraries are heading. There definitely needs to be an acceptance about the fact that fandoms are an important part of one's life and that they are worthy to be studied. But thank you for stopping by, and I hope that this has sparked some interest.